Okay, first of all, I don't talk about the company I've been with for 25 years, but I will tell you this, that we started with 4 people, and from those 4 people, we grew to 1,400,000. And 95% of all those people came from the original 4, okay? So that's got to tell you something, that you don't have to recruit a lot of people to build a large organization. We do not recruit people to sell. We sponsor people and duplicate, and you're only duplicated when the person you sponsor is 3 levels deep. And we build what we call a family of consumers. Now, our company has a lot of great health products, like there are a lot of companies out there that have that. And anyway, in the 25 years, by accident, I have sold one of those products, okay? Someone was in my kitchen, they saw it on the counter, they asked what it was, I told them, and they wanted to buy it, and I sold it to them. So even though I've only sold one product in 25 years, last month, my volume was $12,800,000, which means we'll do well over $150 million this year, which is more than 90% of the network marketing companies do. Okay, and I didn't do that by recruiting people. I did that by sponsoring and teaching. And I think I mentioned 95% of those 1,400,000 came from the original 4. Okay, now I want to say something right now, probably the most important thing I'm going to say. I think virtually everybody that's listening to this probably know of people that have been in more than one company. They've been jumping from one company to the next, and so forth, some 3, 4, 5, even more, okay? You're going to understand why they do that. But the thing that I want to say that's so important is that those people did not fail in network marketing. The reason they did not fail in network marketing because they never did network marketing. They got in network marketing and they did sales. And let me tell you, it is impossible to make it big in network marketing doing sales. Now, a salesperson can be huge in network marketing under 2 conditions. First of all, they've got to get sales clear out of their head, and they've got to learn network marketing because it's a business about duplication, sponsoring, and teaching, not recruiting and selling. I'll give you an example. Most of you have read my book, Napkin Presentation 4, talks about what your business should look like. It should look like the biggest building you have ever seen in your life. And that represents massive income for you. But think about how the building was built. You could not see the building until you dug the foundation, okay? And the foundation has to be deep if you're going to put up a big building. Well, see, the problem for salespeople is they never, ever do a foundation. They're so busy out there, recruit, sell. They never help the people they already sponsored to get some depth going, so they never duplicate. Now, give you an example here. A non-sales type. Note the word recruits, a salesperson thinking they're going to get rich because that person can bring in a lot of people. Well, in 6 months to a year, that person can recruit 50 to 100 people. But see, at the end of the year, when you look at their genealogy, they haven't duplicated themselves one time. Remember, to be duplicated, you have to be 3 levels deep. And they might be 1 level deep in a few places, but they haven't duplicated one time. So now what's happening, people are dropping off faster than they can add them. So they think there's something wrong with the company, the sponsor, the marketing plan, whatever, but someone shows them another hot deal. Now they're off to the races on the new hot deal, and they're doing the same thing they did on the first one. Now, what do you think happens to the person that recruited that salesperson thinking they're going to get rich? And they're thinking, gee, if that person can't build a business, how am I going to do it? So they end up quitting too. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick testimony. It's a true story. A guy by the name of Jimmy the Butcher Smith. He was a butcher for 40 years. Okay. He had to retire from a back injury, got into network marketing, But no, he did not do network marketing. He got into network marketing and he did sales. After 1 year, he was ready to go to his next company. After that year, he was ready to go to his next company. Now, you all know the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay. This guy went through 10 companies in 10 years, never made a dime. Okay. Said he loved network marketing, but remember, he never did network marketing. He did sales. He came across my training material when he was 52. And when he was 70 years old, he was already worth $35 million. He's 92 now. He's worth $90 million. And Eric Worre did an interview with him in two places in the interview. He mentions my name, and we have the recording and so forth, that I'm 100% responsible for his success. Now, when I called and asked him to do a testimony for a new edition of my book coming out of Europe, he was so appreciative of what he had learned from me and what it literally did for his life. They invited Nancy and I to go on a 1 week, his company cruise. And within 3 days, paid for the airfare, paid for the cruise, spent a whole week with this guy. He never spent 2 minutes the entire time talking about his company, product, and marketing plan. All he wanted to do was talk about multiplication, the numbers, and duplication, and building a family of consumers. I'll tell you another quick one. A guy named Jordan Adler from Send Out Cards. This guy, several years in Send Out Cards, doing sales, not making any money, okay? He actually bought my book in a garage sale, and he bought it for 25 cents. He is now a multimillionaire, and every time he does a meeting, he holds up the book, tells people they got to read it. Just so you know, the book now is sold over 11 million copies, and it's in all the major languages, and it's been in the process of being updated now because it was written like 36 years ago, and there's things now because of the app and system and technology that are becoming antiquated, and I'll explain those a little bit later. Okay, now let's talk about market based on the way most people are doing the business, okay? First of all, only 15% of the people in the world are either sick, hurt, or into health. And that breaks down to 8%. That's 15% of the people in the world. It breaks down to 8% really into health. Anybody that would argue that, I say, measure the square footage of your health food stores in town, your supermarkets in town, you're not going to have 8%. So you got a really small market if you think you're selling your health products, okay? Now, you have a lot of competition because there's 2,000 network marketing companies out there. And I say that, 100% of the people in the world not in network marketing do not understand it. 80 to 90% of the people in it don't understand it. You'd be amazed how many company owners don't understand it. Well, now you have over 2,000 companies. 90% of those companies don't have a clue what they're doing, and they're recruiting people to sell to that 8%. Wow. So and in fact, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. These companies, when they get started, they spend millions of dollars getting ready to go to market with a new holy grail of a health product. And they all make the same mistake, which is the destined for their failure, is they recruit a sales manager. Now think about it. This sales manager never sponsored a person a day in his life, never built a business a day in his life. Why did they recruit a sales manager? Well, the answer is real simple, because they do not understand network marketing. They recruited the sales manager to recruit people to sell their hot products. Okay, that's sales, folks. It's not network marketing. It doesn't work, and they're going to fail. Okay. Now, top that off with a small market, a lot of competition, and 95% of the people want nothing to do with selling. Okay, that's crazy. I mean, it was on the news in America here a few weeks ago. Only 4.7% of the people in America want anything to do with selling. So if you think you're out looking for salespeople, which have no shot of making it, you're kind of doing the business backwards, right? I mean, you're going to understand time I get through what you should be doing. So what we're teaching, what you're going to learn here today, is that we have a market of 100%. Because see, 95% of the people want something, and the other 5%, they already have it all, and they'd like to live forever. So we say they can make great customers. Okay. I want to give you a little analogy, and this kind of makes it really clear what you're going to learn. If you owned a brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari, would you let your best friend go for a drive around the block in your brand new Lamborghini or Ferrari if they did not know how to drive? No way, right? Well, we have done training seminars in over 35 countries around the world. I've asked hundreds of thousands of people that question. Everybody says, no way, not going to happen.
Right.
So now this is going to give you an idea how stupid most people are, okay? When I say old school, old time, I'm talking before our app, before our system and technology. People would go into someone's home and they'd spend an hour and a half to 2 hours telling them all about their vehicle, their company, product, and marketing plan. Okay? Sure, they get some of these people excited. They sign up. They go out the next day, talk to what could be their best prospects, and they are crashing and burning all over the place because they don't have a clue how to talk to them about network marketing. They think they're in sales. Okay? Can you imagine they spend all that time talking about their company, product, marketing plan? They do not spend 1 minute teaching the person how to drive the vehicle. And remember, you know how to drive it when you understand network marketing. Well, we have the only app now in the world that does it, and I'm going to show you how that works here in a little bit. So anyway, I want to talk about time, okay? Well, first of all, activity. The activity of most companies out there and people with large organizations is they have 5% of the people in their organization that are actively building a business. I did a Zoom call a couple of weeks ago. A gal had 45 people on her call. I asked her after the call how many people she had in her downline. She said 500. So that's pretty good. And then I said, how many of those people are actively building a business? And boy, it went quiet for about 10, 15 seconds. And she finally said 10 out of 500. Folks, that is typical in network marketing because people do not want to sell. Now, how much time did it take you to be able to teach someone to do an in-home presentation? See, all these seminars I did all over the world, I always started the same way. I said, when you sponsor a new person, how much teaching and training time does it take you before that person can actually start sponsoring people? Can you teach them enough in an hour, 2 hours? Like, no. How about 2-3 days? No. Then I'd say, well, how many of you have people been with you for 3 and 4 months and they still haven't sponsored anybody? You'd be amazed how many people say, they half the room raise their hand that didn't happen. And I say, well, you want to know why they didn't sponsor anybody? The answer is so simple, because nobody taught them something that they can do. Okay? It's one thing if you can do something, but unless you have something that they can do, that it's not going to happen. Of course, now with our system, app, in technology, absolutely anybody can do the business. It's like once you learn what I'm going to teach here in a few minutes, it's like I hand you the key to the vehicle. You get in it today, you can actually start sponsoring today. Okay, going down the freeway, sponsoring, teaching, building your business. Now, note this, while you're building your business, you can learn all about it, the company, product, and marketing plan. People who think they're selling these hot health products and so forth, they have to lift the hood, bonnet, boot, whatever, of their vehicle up and take the whole engine apart, put it back together again before they think they can even talk to someone. That's why it takes them 3-4 months before they get around to talking to someone. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how simple our system is. This is going to blow you away. We have a hat, and the hat says, own your life. We have a pin that says, own your life. Now, let's say that you don't have the hat or you don't have the pin, and you're in a conversation with a friend or someone you meet. Now, with the person you meet, do not do this until you've made a connection with them. So let's go with the person that you already know, that you're talking to. So out of the blue, just say to them, have you ever thought about what it would be like if you could own your life? Okay, now it's going to blow you away. If you can learn to say that one sentence, you can build a business. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. You can build the biggest business in the world if you only did that one sentence, okay? So now they're going to look at you a little strange because they don't really understand where you're going, and simply say, owning your life is having time, money, and health. And did you realize most people don't even know one person that has all three? Young people, millennials, if they're making $60,000, $100,000, a year, they have a little money. They don't have any time because they're commuting their job and things they have to do. Their health's okay. Older people have a lot of time. They're running out of money and their health's going bad. So it's a simple question. How would you like to be able to have time, money, and health, be able to own your life at a time in your life when you could enjoy it with your friends and your family? So at this point, what is it? It's either yes or no, period. Okay, now, going back to this idea of time. That presentation takes 1 minute, okay? And I mean, it's being recorded. If you had to listen to it 10 times, you certainly could learn that 1 minute presentation, because if you can learn that, you can build a business because the tools do all the talking for you.
Right.
Not some of the talking, all talking. Now, we actually teach people not to talk because the more you talk, the more people think they can't do what you're doing or don't have time to do it. Now, that's another problem you have with salespeople because they want to talk and they don't listen very well. So it's hard to get them to slow down to even hear a paragraph thought pattern without being interrupted. So anyway, that's how simple the first step is. Now, in the system, we only have 3 steps, okay? Well, the fourth one is going to your vehicle, but you've done the first step. The second step now, if they want to own their life, they need to understand network marketing. So then they know how to drive. Okay, so it takes you maybe 1-2 minutes to introduce the concept that they need to read the first 5 chapters of the book. By doing that and tell them the book's sold 11 million copies, so forth, and people use it all over the world. Once you've done that, you send them the first 5 chapters of the book, and I'm going to show you in detail how to do that in a few minutes. Out of the palm of your hand on your mobile device with technology, now we'll send them the first 5 chapters of the book. Now, remember, it's their time to read the first 5 chapters. It only took you 1 to 2 minutes to introduce it to them.
Right.
When they get through reading the book, then you introduce them to the app. And that takes about a minute. Say, I want you to go to the app now. And then once you go through the app, you're going to really understand what we're doing. And when you get through the app, now you're ready to go to your vehicle, your company, product, market event. You total up your total talking time from the time you do the 1 minute presentation to the time you introduce the app, you're looking at between 6 and 10 minutes.
Wow.
Anybody can do that. I mean, anybody. Okay? You got this thing recorded. If you can't do it, just play the recording. Play the recording for them.
Right.
Okay, now, what I want to do now is show you, in fact, just for what it's worth, I've kind of laid out to you everything you need to do to build a business, and I haven't even been talking 20 minutes. Stay away from these programs that cost thousands of dollars the last 2 and 3 days. And they're going to teach you how to do something. So all they are motivational, and that motivation we call hot bath, because when you get out of a hot bath, you cool off. They don't teach you anything to do, and those people that are doing them are making a fortune doing it. But catch this: if they believed in what they're doing and they understood what they're doing, network marketing, why aren't they doing it?
Right.
None of them are doing it. Okay,
Right.
so now, I want to talk about how much money that you're going to save using the app. Okay, first of all, back in old school, before we had the app and technology, people would buy quantities of my book because if you just bought one, you'd loan it out, and then you're out of business, so you get it back or get another one. So the price could range between $8, $10, $12, $14, depending on how many you bought. Let's say we're buying them one at a time, paying $12, paying $12 for the book plus the shipping to get it to you. See, that's not the real cost of the book. Because unless you can hand the book to your neighbor, okay, you got to drive to the post office. Now, I don't know how far it is for everybody to drive to the post office, but the time it takes you to go there and come home, that's time which is valuable. Plus, you got to buy gas for your vehicle.
Right.
You got to add that to the cost of the book. You stand in line at the post office, you buy the stamps, you got to add the stamps to the cost of the book. Now, what if you wanted to send it overnight so they get it the next day? Now you're spending more for that than you did for the book, okay?
Right.
Now you're going to wait 3 to 5 days for them to get it. Now, let me tell you something. In 5 days, you call them up and say, have you received the book? They say they did. You say, have you read it? They say they did. You would be amazed how many people lie to you that they said they did, they really didn't. Because what happens is from the time you talk to them and they're all excited about what you're doing to the time they get the book, they've already cooled off.
Right.
We have eliminated all of that because with the app, the cost is $15 a month. And if you pay annually, you get 2 months free. Okay. Well, when you average that out, your cost is $10 a month. And for the $10 out of the palm of your hand, you can send out unlimited first 5 chapters of the book. You could send out 10, 20, 50, 100 if you wanted to. And the cost of sending it to the people is included in that $10. It's amazing. So all you need to do is ask your person if you want me to send it to you by print or audio. Okay. Now, why is audio so important? People say they don't have time to read.
Right.
Okay. Well, you go to any town in the world and look at commuter traffic, and 90% of the vehicles have one person in them. And that person hates their commute, probably hates their job. They're going to be there for 30, 40 years, retire broke. No more excuses because they can listen to the book while they're commuting. You can listen to it while you're fixing dinner, while you're exercising, jogging, walking your dog. No more excuses. People can listen to it. Now, you're going to like what I'm going to tell you now. You can actually send them the book right while you're actually talking to them. So when you hang up the phone, they're not going to have to wait 5 days and cool off.
Right.
They've got it as soon as they hang up the phone, the first 5 chapters.
Right.
Okay. So now, what I'm going to tell you now, you're really going to like is that when they start to read the first 5 chapters, you're going to get a ping on your mobile device saying that they started to read it. And when they hang up before they're finished with the 5 chapters, you get another ping saying, they partially read it. And when they finish reading it, you get another ping saying they finished reading the book.
Fantastic.
So how cool is that? You know exactly when to follow up with the person. Okay.
Right.
I mean, if it takes you 2 weeks before you get the first ping, you know about the gold, silver, empty ships. I mean, you can identify who you're working with and you know when to call. So that's exciting. And when you actually get the app, you are going to get the entire book in print and audio. And you can't send out the entire book. You can only send out the first 5 chapters.
Right.
There's a section called questions and answers. Let's say you sponsor someone. They sponsor someone who asks your person a question. They're new. They don't have the answer. How long does it take them to track you down to get you to answer it for them? Now, all they have to do is go to their mobile device, look up the Q&As, find the question and answer, and they can send that to them. It has the tracking, just like sending out the book, when they start looking at it, when they finished it, okay? Now, if the person has a question that's not on the app, submit it to us. We'll add it to the app. So the idea is eventually we'll have virtually everything a person could ever think of is going to be on the app.
Right.
Now, another section is called Nancy's Wisdom. Now, Nancy passed away last December, okay? But before she did, a few months before, she did a training on Zoom that the women absolutely love. That is on Nancy's Wisdom. I talked to someone yesterday, said that they listened to it 3 times, and it just totally blew them away. And it's good for the men too, because 70% of the people in the world in network marketing are women. So not only is that presentation there, but there's several interviews. We got more content that'll be adding to that section. We have another section called interviews, where we have Tom Schnall, Simon Chen, and Peter Mingles, 3 very famous podcasters that interviewed us. Those are on the app. The only thing that's not on the app is that we're going to start adding testimonials. In other words, these will be done by Zoom, 2 to 3 minutes. The person can't mention their company or product, but these will be people that have been trying to do network marketing with sales not working. Now they're doing it the right way, and it's working for them. So we're going to have those on there. The other thing now, I'm going to send you the link to the app, which is faillalegacy.com. Failla, Failla, legacy.com. And you can go through and check that out. When you go through that, you will see Jeff Grimaldi, my partner, link his phone to the computer, share the screen, and show you exactly. It takes you about 15 to 20 seconds to send a book anywhere in the world. It's kind of a learning curve. Once you do it twice, you'll get it down. So that's how quick you can do it. So that's pretty much it. The app is being updated now. So what you're going to see now is you'll see only 4 chapters. It's being updated to 5. Plus, we're adding a Dr. Steve Hines, who is a guest on our training calls. Now, this guy, very famous eye surgeon, had 4 doctors work for him, 3 clinics, 120 staff, multi-millionaire, retired, sold his business, been in networking 30 years, and the guy has an organization of over 350,000. He's got the fastest growing organization in his company using our app, our system, and technology. Now, when you hear this guy talk, if you have a doctor, dentist, lawyer, professional person, listen to this guy. You know, a lot of these people poo-poo network marketing. They say, oh, it's a pyramid and all this garbage and stuff. That's because people don't understand.
Right.
If you listen to this guy, they're going to want to join your program. Now, that is going to be on the app. Hopefully, with the update, that'll be up there within the next week or 2. But anyway, just know that's coming. So anyway, other than that, the app's now, in numerous languages: Spanish, of course, English, obviously, German, and what's the other one?
Italian?
No, yeah, Italian. We just came out with Italian. It's really huge. Vietnamese. We're working on Chinese, Japanese.
Wow.
And after that, Russian. It's going to be in all the languages of the world. But anyway, I want you to go ahead and stop the recording now, and I'll tell you why.